I'm audible and you could see my screen here. Online, am I audible? You could see my screen. Yes, no. Yes, okay. So, where are we, guys? Okay, let me start a server. Okay, this guy is already running. Okay, so this is what we have created. We could able to interact with our server even with the cross domain. What happened? Okay, and we could able to see your product details, etc. And we have seen like how we are using the MongoDB as a in-memory cache to store our session data so that it can be shared between the cross domains that we have seen. We have even seen that your internal server or your web server will be creating a session for individual request. Okay, and that individual request is from individual what do you say uh, individual user request or individual browser. Okay, that day we I have shown you like from your edge we are creating a session, server is creating, and when I'm going to create a separate request from your Chrome browser, there will be a separate request. It is not going to share the same session data. Okay, so that is what we have seen on the top. Now what we need to do is we need to have an option of logging out. Okay, our main requirement is, for example, user is already logged in. Now, when I come back here and I reload the page, he is directly loading the product details. Okay, that is fine. Now I go to here and assume like I have logged out. This is how the page is. User is directly going to this page and he's directly hitting the URL. He could able to load the product details. That should not be the case. If the user is not signed in, you have to be redirected directly to the login page or like the home page instead of loading this product details. So that is what our main requirement is. Now, in order to achieve this, first thing what we need to do is, before that, what we have to do is, once the user is logged in, I would like to take the data and I would like to store the data inside the store. Okay, because like every, what do I say? Or else, what is the need of storing into the store? Because, yeah, I think like anyway, I'll be hitting the API, right? Okay, so I'll do one thing. Uh, Once the user is logged in, first of all, let us modify the changes in your header. Under your header.tsx, we have this login, right? Okay, so this is the one what we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the same block instead of this handle logout show. Okay, and hello username. We need to have the username who actually signed in. Username and instead of account list, hello username or sign in, sign out. Okay, let me make it as instead of account list, I'll make it as sign out. Okay, so first thing is we need to have what actually the username is. Okay. Okay. So let us see this. Okay. One more thing is I need to know who is going to set this username and who is going to set this logout. Okay, logout we can, okay, by default it will be set, and on click of valid credentials, we can simply say set, set logout show as true because you're a logged in user. Okay, so once we reload it, now this is sign in. After I sign in, hello 123, I click on login. It is not loading the product details. What happened? This is account username. Okay, let's move this and the logout show. Div guide, logout, hello, so and so. Wait, what happened to this guy? Failed to execute set time storage. What I have done. What we have done. Okay, let us revert it. Happened to this guy. Product details. Selector unknown return to root statement when call this lead to unnecessary renders. Failed to execute SIT. We are having the data.
Cognitive Oh. Yeah.
What was missing here? Need to debug the product details. Product details data, local storage. Okay. That day we were writing some local storage, but we haven't added anything. Response console, we can remove this. Okay, this is loading now. Okay. Now let's go for this guy. Logout account. This guy handle logout show. This guy hello username. Username. This guy will automatically show logout. So I will keep an expression show logout question mark. Okay, if it is not show logout, this guy, otherwise this guy. Okay, right now he is signed in. When I click on login, here we see enter model pop-up, and we were handling that login. But here we would like to do the another model, right? Model show centered. So okay, this is the model what we had. Let's have the same type of model. Another model, but this guy will be having a button. Like instead of this, I'll say logout. Okay, model body, we won't be having anything. Just simply say, what do you like to log out? Okay. Would you like to log out? Okay, yes. And model title logout. On click, handle logout, handle logout session. Okay, so in case of your logout session, what we need to do is, first of all, let's make it, first of all, we need to hit the API. So if we see, we have created an API in the server side, because not just only client side, in the server side session has to be invalidated. Is user logout session. Okay, logout session is the one what we already have. And what is the web service of this guy? Logout session. Okay. So here we are going to say axios dot get or post. What was that? Get. Okay, so we say access dot get. This guy is localhost T8, sorry, 3000, right? 3000. This is HTTP. Okay, and once dot done, then we have the response. And what we do is, once this guy is done, we need to navigate that guy to local, I mean, to your home page, right? Directly navigate to slash. So he has to be directly navigated to the home page once the logout is done, right? This is your handle logout session. But at the same time, this guy handle logout show, right? Handle logout show, set logout show. So this guy show logout has to be false. Set logout show should be false. Okay, and let us see. Okay, this guy will become false. What else to be done? This pop-up also has to go. Model pop-up, right? Okay. So I will be use state of false. Okay. So you show logout model. So the user clicks on logout. Where is this? Then in that case, when I click on logout, this is the method which has to be called, right? On click of logout, handle logout show. Okay, let's see this. So this is how I have the sign in. I'll go with ABC. I'll go with hello 123. I click on login. This is coming over here. Now, what if like I would like to log out here? I click on logout. Would you like to log out? I click on logout. It is taking me to the home page. But what if user clicks on 573 on a separate page, and if we click on product details, the product details is still loading. Okay, that should not be the case. I mean, we have added this logout, but what if like user have this URL, he directly clicks on this route and he's getting loaded with this, what do you say, the page. But so this is where we have to protect our routes. Okay, what do you mean by protecting the routes? If the user is having the route URL, directly if he hits it, we have to validate that, then only we have to load the component, but don't just load the component. If you see here, how this got loaded, because when you come to your main block, under your main block, we have specified this route path saying that whenever there is something called a slash so and so, automatically load this. Whenever you load, see this slash product details, automatically load this. So that is what automatically happening. then how do I stop this? I don't want the user to load it automatically. I mean, before even loading the component, ba- based on the path, we have to check for the condition here. Now, that is where I have added. Earlier, it was directly the product details which was getting loaded. But now what I have added a new component which is called as protected route. What this guy is going to do, we are going to pass him was whether the user is a logged in user or not. Based on that, if you go into this product route, based on before actually loading the routes and all, we make sure hit the session details. So that once we have this session details, session will tell you whether user is a logged in user or not. If the user is logged in, let that guy allow, otherwise don't allow. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let us say is logged in user const user logged in set user logged in is equal to use state equal to false. Okay, by default, you're not a logged in user. Okay, now how you're going to get this guy? I say use effect. I mean, before the component gets mounted, I need to go for this guy. Okay, so what is the first thing I need to do? We have a separate component, right? Which will be returning the session details. Sorry, separate web service. When you go to your API, you see get user session details. This is the service which we need to hit. Under this guy is a Axios dot get. Okay, this is the web service dot then response. Let us say console.log session detail response. Okay, let us see what actually the response is coming here. Let's come back. Let's run the session once again. I'm reloading the page. I'm going with the sign in. I'm going with this ABC. I'm going with the password. Hello, 123. Okay, once I click on login. Okay, this guy got modified, right? For now, let me make it as true because by default it is automatically coming there. Okay, okay, let's reload it. I go with the sign in. I say ABC, hello, 123. I click on login. You're taking to the product details. Okay. This is how the product details is coming. Super fine. But what is our requirement? When the user does this logout, you see here, I'm doing the logout. User got logged out. But user is coming to a separate page and he is directly clicking the product details. This is where the problem is. Now when I inspect this, let's go to the console. When I'm reloading this guy, you're getting the response. You see, you see the session details is already throwing that the data is cookie. It is not having the username, isn't it? For example, if I go for login, I go for login. When I come here, when I reload the page, you should able to see the data is having the cookie. Why I'm not having the user details? Session data under the data cookie expires. Why the username is not getting passed? That we have already done that, right? Okay, user credentials open in a new tab. Oh, sorry, not user credentials. User session details open in a new tab. Yeah, it is having the data, right? Then why, when I'm getting the response, why I'm seeing only cookie data here? Cookie is this along with the username. Why this is not coming as part? This is surprising. When I'm hitting on browser, we could able to see. Yeah, this is coming. Okay, dot cookie is there. Along with this header request status. Okay, let's try this. Got restarted. Okay, this is the session now. Response data. I go for sign in. You may see. 1, 2, 3. Click on login. Now once I reload the page, response data is so and so. Okay. Let us see what we are getting here. User session details. Too much. Why this response is not coming? User session details. Strange. This is response.json. Okay. 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 So I say user credentials. And when I click on product details one more time, user session details, response data one. Strange. Response data one is happening. It is only considering the cookie value. Why not other data? I'll say request dot session dot details is going to be a JSON object. Then I'll say dot user details dot username, user details dot user logged in. Okay. Let us see this. JSON, first of all.
Yes, yes. Click on petty print.
Sorry,
That is valid, I think.
it should be valid, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Just cross check this. The valid JSON. Yeah. Okay, one more option. What I have is get validate user credentials. I'll say request dot session. This is not working. Request dot session dot cookie. This is directly I'm setting into the cookie itself. Let's see if we could able to get it or not. Under cookie, no, the data is not getting appended. What was that? Credentials?
When you are getting the session details, right? Maybe you can include the credentials. What you call it, credentials.
No, I mean that is what it is missing, right? I'm getting the response. In the response itself, if I'm not having data, how I can do that? I can't hard code it, right? Obviously, when I'm getting the response, I can say that it is valid. But what about the username? I cannot get the username there. But this is very much strange. Things which is in API, but it is not coming over here. Okay, that is the reason. One final thing what I can do is instead of this get session details get, let's make it as post json.stringify and validate credentials. It is still keeping this into username and user logged in. Okay. Okay. Let me try this. Okay, in that case, I need to change the API heading also under your header dot so and so. Sorry, under product details. Where I was hitting the session details under main block. This guy is post. Not passing any data. Let's try this. Go to login. ABC 23. User session details. Still the same old story. This is Get session details. What actually I'm sending, let's have a look. Console.log. Product details. You see in the product details, this is coming like this. So the session is available. Then what is the problem with you? What is the problem in getting the session details request.session? Let's make it as get itself so that I can check in the browser. Anyway, we get to know that by this is not working. So let's make it as get communication. Under your main block, let's make it as get communication. Sign in.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಕೋಡ್ 16 ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೋಟೋ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ
Okay, now if I hit this guy, you see, like when I'm hitting this session, any number of times I hit it, I'm getting this, whether you're a user, logged in user or not. Then what is the problem? Throwing the data, throwing the data. 2113. Everything is fine. Oh, man. How do I get it?
I think I sent you one command. When I looked at the
Which one you sent? Can you include credential? Oh, yes, that is true. Exactly. If you, I mean, yesterday, like we discussed it, right? Exactly, that's true. I mean, whenever we are hitting the session data from the cross domains, we need to make sure that you see, mm, we need to make sure that we have to set that value. Okay, let us go into product details. You see, config. This is the data, for sure we need to pass it. Yes, this is the one what you're missing. Then in that case, for sure it has to be post. Okay. This is post. And even over here, when I'm doing the logout session, right? There also we have to keep this guy. But anyway, here we are not accepting any data, that is fine. But yeah, make it as a habit. And the logout session also will become the post now. Oh my God, one simple thing. Okay, so let's go here, product details, and yeah, sign in. I go to ABC, I say hello 123, I click on login. What happened? User credentials. Let's restart. Now I will, okay, now on reloading of this is fine. Okay, but what if I copy this URL? I'm hitting this guy, it should be loading super fine. But when I come over here, where is that logout? Okay, let me do once again. I go for login. What is the key we were receiving? In case of login, when I'm reloading, you see user session is user logged in. This is the data what we are receiving. Okay, if response